What up, what up, what up? This is Mike the Philosopher here with another one. This one, Love and Marriage Detroit, episode 5. I'm not going to hold you. Let's go in.
Previously on Love and Marriage Detroit.
So yeah, we're doing a showcase.
Artist showcase.
If Detroit is gonna take that next level up in the landscape of the music industry, this showcase is gonna play a role in that.
She is an influencer. She's dabbling back into that space. Well, hello. I'm talking about you. Hi, babe. I love you. I love you.
I had a man's movement meeting coming up. I want to invite y'all. I need y'all there.
The man's movement is for men to have a voice, for men to be celebrated, for men to man up.
Right.
So I just want to talk about the party. Kobe is celebrating a milestone. It's her 30th birthday. Let's wait to send the invites so that nobody ruins the surprise.
Okay.
Honestly, jumping in on an existing collaboration.
How is that jumping in?
Because that's the way she made it seem.
If it were me, Christina, I would have never felt that way because I'm not a selfish person who wants it to be about me.
Are you trying to ignite
Yes,
something?
she is.
I'm trying to get down to the truth.
Christina and I are both influencers. We can both do the same thing,
Okay,
Brandon.
I mean, y'all can, but you're on the same thing that's looking like a Kobe cat.
Don't do it. Don't do this.
First of all, this is a conversation that needs to be had.
No, this is too much. We talk about how we can't work together as females and how women are in Detroit and things of that.
Okay,
but that's
I
not
don't-
fair. Well, if
What's
you
not
felt that
fair?
way, if you really feel that way about her copying
That's
you,
what he feels. These are his words.
but what have you said to him to make him feel that way?
He sees everything that's going on, and that's his gather. I didn't say anything. And you're just jumping on this bandwagon.
No, I'm not. No.
But you're saying
I'm
this
not
is what
jumping
you're
on
saying.
anybody's
This is-
bandwagon.
She don't need to jump on no bandwagons,
No, wait,
because she
wait,
make it happen.
Whose bandwagon am I jumping on? Obviously, Kobe is having an issue. The fact is that she's hurt, and like you don't even care.
Who's copying you? Who's intentionally wanting to copy you? I don't want to be you. I don't want anything that you have.
I mean, I know being mad and being upset, but like you didn't even go after her. She didn't walked out. You just sitting there. That's fake to me because that is not being a sister. I don't do fake. I don't do any of that. Like, come on, guys.
Just be clear. Nobody's being fake.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm just
calm
saying,
down.
okay.
Like, why are you saying
Because
like
there's,
being fake?
I don't like the fakeness of we want to bring up this situation right now when we trying to have a good time, right? Like, why are we talking about that right now?
Unfortunately, the conversation got brought up here, but it has nothing to do with being fake.
Yeah.
Kobe's a new influencer. This is not something I'm new to. Well, all I'm trying to explain to her is that you just can't come in on somebody else's existing collaboration. It doesn't work that
Because
way.
be real, this is not the first time she's done this.
So you can't come in to anybody's existing collaboration. So she said this is not my doing. This is all, she tried to put it all on Brandon, but now she's saying you can't come into it. So obviously she feels the same as Brandon. That's what she means as being fake. She and I get what she's saying. She's just saying that, look, obviously you feel this way. Obviously he's not coming up to these conclusions just by himself, and if he is, it's not as though you are disagreeing with Brandon, so that's what she means by the fakeness, and I can totally understand that because it does come off as being fake. Now let me say this: is Kobe being a I wouldn't say culture vulture, but is she trying to kind of walk in the shoes of Katrina? I think she is. She's younger. She's 10 years younger than Katrina. She obviously sees the success that Katrina has had. She's an apprentice, and she is bit of a prodigy in the space. So she is going to try and, take some of her mentors' ideas, connects, just take a lot of stuff from her and try and make it happen on her own. But the problem with that is this influencer space is very competitive. So you have women competing with each other while one is still trying to mentor and the other is trying to learn. So it gets very gray very fast with the ladies because that's my girl, that's my protege, but at the same time this is a competitive sport, so to speak. Attention is competitive. I mean, I see guys on YouTube and social media going at it and and competing with each other and putting each other down and calling each other out. So I know women do it. I know women do it too. And so she was right to kind of call it out as being fake, but I guess my overall point is, yes, Kobe is being a bit of a vulture of Katrina, and I think Katrina has a right to be a little guarded with that because it's a competitive space they're in. I understand that she wants to see her sister win at the same time, but not necessarily ride the coattails so much. She probably want her to find her own lane and go that route instead of riding her coattails. The weight is getting a little too heavy for her to drag now. Okay, step off my coattails so I can walk normally. I think that's what Katrina is saying, and I think that's right too. I think she probably needs to be a little bit more honest with that and not come off so fake about it. But the doc, I really rock with the doc. I rock with all the ladies. I just it almost seemed like all of the problems that are coming from the women, and I'm not sure why that is. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the guys will get along much better if it wasn't for the women in their lives, their wives. The wives is stirring up a whole bunch of stuff. That's just my perspective. I mean, if you have another one, that's fine. Put it in the comments, but it also keeps the show interesting. So there is that part of it. Let's go in.
Brandon is inserting himself. I understand protection, as all of our husbands are very protective of us. But why stir the pot? Because they're obviously having a whole blowout right here, and now you want to just jab and put a little bit more, a little sauce. What's the point of that right now?
Well, let me answer that question for her. The point of that is Brandon was being called out for not supporting his wife enough. He found that now is the good time to back his wife and get her back. He was already called out for it. This is the part that she don't understand. He was already called out for it. So he got to step up his protection of his woman, and he took that opportunity. So now you're saying, see, you don't understand why he's getting more involved, but he understands why he's getting more involved. He getting pressure from his wife to stick up for her more. And everybody understands that all the husbands are very protective of their wives, and that's understandable. But he just recently got criticized for not doing it enough. Soon as he do it, now everybody else got a problem. A lot of times as men, we can't win. We just can't win. It's just a reality, especially when it comes to relations with women. A lot of times we just can't win. Let's go in.
Take a deep breath. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. This is madness. This is crazy. It's okay, don't cry. I'm sorry. As a man, especially as the husband, you never want to see your wife inconsolable. What hurts the most is seeing Kobe upset with someone she considered a friend, a confidant.
I was trying not to bust her all the way out, but like, I mean, it's getting a little like weird. It was just getting
Let
weird.
me have the conversation.
I just feel like it's no wins in this. Trying to have my wife's back.
I just said that. I haven't seen this before. I haven't seen this before. And he said exactly what I just said. That's funny as hell. Let's go in.
Trying to appease that need for her to feel supported, but somehow it's my fault.
Let's finish talking at another time, y'all. All right?
So
Come on, babe. Go get your shoes.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Go get your shoes.
I'm over drama in general, but I am over the drama that seems to be stemming from the Smiths. I feel like every time we're out, there's something happening, and I just didn't know they were like this.
We okay.
I don't do this.
We okay. We're okay.
It's gonna be all right.
Hey, bro. You a better man than me, dog. Because I might have choked him out.
It's the Lord.
And I love both of y'all.
Yeah.
But you call my wife copycat, I'm going upside your head.
Words don't mean nothing.
I hear you. Kobe, you straight?
That's done.
My wife mad. She don't like that arguing stuff.
Yeah.
I don't mind having the conversations. I like it. Like, let's get it on the flow. But you know what? When you do that, most stuff about to hit the flow.
It's gonna hit the flow.
You know how God do. Stuff about to hit the flow.
I cry when I'm pissed off. And I am irate. And it's fake, and I could capture that on camera, because that's not Brandon and that's not Christina. They're fake as hell. If this is what Christina and Brandon are on, if this is how they operate, if this is how they move, I'm done. I don't want no part.
It is what it is. We can wash our hands and move on.
Now, let me say this. I don't think that's enough to warrant the end of a friendship. I mean, all she's saying is just, at least take 1 foot off of my coattails so just to ease the weight. Okay, in this competitive media that we are in, is that enough to end a relationship and to end a friendship? I don't think so. I think maybe they just was speaking out of emotions, but seems a little, I don't want to call it childish, because they have a right to feel how they feel. But I would just say, let time heal this, okay? Just let time heal this. Go in your respective corners, cool off, and just move a little differently, okay? There will be no collaborations in the near future, and that's fine. But do you got to lose a friendship for that? I guess their name is the Smiths, Brandon and Katrina Smith. But if they seem to be the leaders of the drama on this show, without a doubt. They seem to really bring, whether it's with other people or their own marriage, they just seem very dramatic. That's funny. Let's go in.
Since I'm in the process of selling my home and we're living downtown in the penthouse, we had to move certain things to storage. All sis did was pack up the boxes. Brandon brought them all here. Hopefully it's not a whole entire wreck. Hello. All right, not too bad, Brandon. It's a stretch. I'm looking for fabric. Chelsea has a big event coming up, and she asked her big sis to get her ready by designing her a custom piece. Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Good to see you. I'm hoping I have something for Chelsea.
Stretchy up here. Might need a little structure right here, but that's gonna be okay.
Girl, you look good in everything, so. It's been a while since I've even designed and made anything for anybody. So these fabrics are a little ancient.
This looks like roadkill. So what's been up since the last time I saw you?
Things hit the fan between me and, do you know Kobe?
No, I haven't met her.
She's always been cool, always been a little sis to me, and you know, we never had any issues. Anthony he invited us skating.
Okay.
She's recently become a social media influencer. Gonna take you back a little bit.
Okay.
So originally I was planning a sip and see, right?
Okay.
I kind of told her about or whatever. But then the next day she called and she's like, hey, just so you know, I just booked a sip-in shop. And I was thinking in my head, dang, I just told her yesterday that I was doing a sip shop. So then, I have a brand partnership with Harper Ray. And so she sends me a text message and she's like, I'm gonna do a collaboration with Harper Ray. I talked to the owner.
So now this is the second thing.
And she wants us to collaborate together. Let me know, you know what I'm saying, what you think about it. And I'm like, dang, how they just gonna give my collaboration, you know what I'm saying, take me out of my collaboration and force me to collaborate with someone else without talking to me, because this is business. Doing brand collaborations is my bread and butter.
Yeah, that's a little bit of entitlement that I'm hearing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, this is my collaboration. Let me invite you in on my collaboration.
Yeah, you can't just latch yourself on.
And so I was like, I texted Kobe and I said, I think we should have this conversation in person. I don't want anything to be misconstrued via text
Lost in
message.
translation, yeah.
Right. She sent a text message back, but I didn't read it.
I know how you are with text, so.
You know.
Right.
Then finally seen her at skating for the first time. She brings up hey, I know what's up with us collaborating on a brand. I know this is something we have talked about. I was like, regarding the Harper Ray collaboration, I was confused. She went off. She was like,
off of that?
Yes. She was like, why wouldn't you collaborate with me? You're selfish. I feel like Kobe and I have always connected. We've always bonded and had a lot in common. So I feel bamboozled. I feel very thrown off, and I feel like she doesn't know me at all. And that is hurtful because I feel like I've shared my heart with her over time. Because I never got out of character. I'm not doing that with you. No, for what?
Where do y'all stand now?
I don't know. She walked away mad, and
then that was it.
Brandon and I left. I haven't reached out. She hasn't reached out. I don't feel like I should reach out to her right now, or period, because you were the one being extra. You were the one yelling at me. I never disrespected you. I don't feel like I did anything wrong.
I know it.
I don't feel like I did anything wrong. One thing I notice about Christina is it is never her fault. Never. I don't care if it's Brandon. I remember them going to a marriage counselor and she walked away oh, I'm glad you realized the errors of your ways, Brandon. And she didn't think, she walked away from that thinking she did nothing wrong. This woman is so, I want to say delusional. And another thing I noticed is that she exaggerates a whole lot. She tells a story in a way that's all her, that favors her so much, it is ridiculous. I don't care if it's Brandon, I don't care if it's Kobe. You're going to get a version of the story that makes her look like she got a halo over her head. And everybody else in the world is wrong except Christina. Everybody. And that is just so... I kind of want to say manipulative. And I can understand why she was called fake, because it's just dang, girl, you act like you don't do nothing wrong. Really? And then when he starts to come your way, if your husband is nearby, you're gonna matrix those bullets until they go back and hit him. It's just oh my goodness. Oh no, that wasn't what I was saying. This is Brandon's thing. He brought up all of that stuff. It wasn't me. Oh my goodness, this woman. let me tell you something, man. We have a problem. We have an epidemic in this society. I'm not going to get on the soapbox. I'm going to just say a lot of women need to work on their accountability. I'm not saying men don't have to work on things, but accountability ain't one of them. That's a woman thing. Y'all, women and their accountability, I don't understand, man. I don't know if it's a genetic mutation. I don't know if it's a cultural thing. But accountability, for some reason, it is kryptonite to women. And Christina is a clear case of this accountability being an issue. Everything is everybody else's fault except for hers. And this is how men view it. This is how men view it. You don't know how to take accountability for nothing. And everything is the man's fault. And when heat comes your way, you still blame your man. You walked away from the marriage counseling thinking everything was Brandon's fault. You walked away from the failure of this relationship as all Brandon's fault. You walk away from the Kobe situation thinking it's all Kobe's fault. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's annoying. And it's not sustainable for long-term relationships. Ladies, work on your accountability. Okay? Be accountable. Men have to always be accountable. We don't even really have a choice. We are held accountable by the laws, by the government, by our women, by the community, by society. We're always held accountable. Women, anyway, let's go in.
It hurts to like be the bigger person when you didn't do
It doesn't
anything
hurt
bad.
to be the bigger person.
Then just call. You just don't want to.
Think about that.
Coming up on Love and Marriage Detroit.
Last night, I was nervous with this guy.
If I wasn't saved, I probably would have broke every bone in your body.
How do we get past it? How do we rebuild? And when I talk,
What?
don't play with me, no hand. Don't play with no hand. Don't play with no bandwagon, because we straight.
What does that have to do with
It
you
has a lot to
trusting
do with
me?
it. I'm not about to be doing business deals with somebody that's snaking somebody else we cool with.
Tommy.
This is the first official Man's Movement meeting that we're having today. And after all that drama at the roller rink, I'm hoping this will be the great time to bring together Brandon and Russell so that we can get everything smoothed out.
Big Russ! What up, though?
You good? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man.
Brandon, what's going on, sir?
So I'm seeing Brandon for the first time since he had a smart mouth with my wife. I'm anticipating the conversation that I need to have with him.
You good?
Yes, sir.
Let me say this real quick. I really don't, this is probably one of the first things I don't really agree with Anthony on. I mean, I understand the situation, but it seems like he's really taking a side, and he's taking Russell's side. I mean, I don't know how Brandon walked in there, but he didn't get the same greeting as Russell got when he walked into the room. I thought that was your boy, 20 years strong, okay? I understand that he defended his wife, but y'all don't understand. He has to start defending his wife. So he had to say something, okay? And it was something that was bothering him too. He was gonna let them handle it, but when it came out, he figured this is a good time to talk about it. Should he have let the ladies talk? That's debatable, because then he would have been accused of not defending his wife again. So he would have had either problems at home. So he got to choose. Do you got to have problems at home, or do you want to have problems with his boys? He chose problems with his boys right now. He's still trying to rebuild his marriage back up. He already had problems at home. Okay, he's done with that. So now it's time to have problems with the boy. I kind of feel for Brandon because, like I said before, and like he said before, he's in a no-win situation. It seemed like all of the time. The brother's in a no-win situation. He can't make everybody happy. He just can't. The way the thing's set up, he's always behind the 8 ball, always. And that is unfortunate. I wish Anthony was a little, like, he was a bit neutral when it was about him and his wife, but when it comes to his boys, he's not neutral. He should stay neutral. I mean, obviously, he views Russell's side as being the right side, but if those your boys, man. Like, don't get in the middle. Don't be the instigator, is what I'm saying. Because honestly, I feel like a lot of this would blow over if Anthony don't instigate. A lot of this will blow over. Like, he was upset with Brandon, but I think Russell could have walked away from it and just gathered his mind. But with Anthony, he came out there, oh man, if that was me, I would have smacked, I would have went upside his head and stuff like this. And now he at the meeting and Anthony kind of puffing him up a little bit more. He's instigating. Chill out, Anthony. This is one thing that I don't agree with Anthony on. I just thought he should have stayed neutral and not divide his boys like that. But let's see how it goes.
We're gonna talk today. All right.
That's what's up, man. Welcome to the power table, where we make moves at. Like this shirt, man.
Thanks, man.
Real love.
Brandon walked in here with a shirt that has Christina's faces all over it. Christina is looking at everybody like this on the shirt. Everybody getting the side eye. Like, it was weird, honestly. I can see why he's doing it, honestly. He's trying to appease his wife. Kobe couldn't ask me to wear a shirt like that. I'm sorry. That's not me. I love her, but I couldn't do it.
I thank all y'all for being here, and welcome to the Man Movement. I appreciate all y'all. Let's go, fellas. My name is Anthony E. Thompson II. A lot of y'all already know that, of course, because we have worked together a lot in the community and business-wise. What we're gonna do is we're gonna definitely do the march. We're not gonna waste time. We're gonna get busy with it. It's gonna be amazing.
Can you tell us what the march is about?
Glad you asked that, bro. The march is dealing with us bringing the young men and the brothers, all of us together. You know, we want to target like 300 to 500 guys to be there because I think that would bring major impact. We're talking to them about leadership, all the areas. We're talking about politics. We're talking to these young men and they seeing us up front about how we treat women, how we mold our children. So it's about men learning how to become men. So I just want to get you guys a sign to what we're going to do. So Brandon, I'm going to have you and Russ, you guys are going to speak like 2 minutes and I might call on a few others. And then we're going to get the bullhorns. We're going to march out as men in one unit.
I don't know what's going on, but Russell keeps looking at Brandon. So I'm just the fly on the wall trying to figure this all out. I'm still trying to figure out what my role in the movement is, you know?
I would just say, man, I definitely commend you for putting the table together. The spirit is definitely moving and is needed specifically for our city right now, what's going on with the black men, young and old right now. We got you. We're here.
Man, I appreciate
to say thank you, man, because,
Thank
man,
you.
black men very rarely become anything that they've never seen. So giving them an opportunity to see positive examples
yes, sir.
and what they can possibly become, I think will lead the charge.
Yo, I know I didn't go to college, but am I missing something here? Because everybody else at this table seems like they know what's going on. He's saying he wants us to speak, but to who? I don't understand what this man's movement is about, and I am sitting here in confusion.
So again, I appreciate all y'all, man. Y'all know I love y'all. Y'all my brothers. The time is up. I'm gonna check y'all out. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll send that information to y'all. I thank y'all for coming. Russ, don't leave yet. Brandon, Bravo, I need to holler at my guys before y'all leave. So everybody else, I'll get with y'all real soon. I'm probably hit y'all tonight.
Have a good one, man.
Listen, I'm ready to have this conversation with Brandon right now. If I let it fester, it become a bigger issue.
Like, you know, we just gonna talk, dog, and updates. The other day at the skating rink, I had the event. You didn't get to make it because you said you was working.
Yeah.
So we all just went out to have a good time, just to hang out. No, we was having fun at first. And then it got intense with the ladies, bro. It got real intense.
Again.
Real intense. Let me tell you something, because we talked about this already, us. But last night, I was nervous with this guy because, I mean, he called Kobe Cat.
I wasn't going.
I was nervous, bro.
I wasn't even going to address that, man.
Oh.
Because I wanted to have a one-on-one conversation with you and show you how we should have handled that situation yesterday. But if I wasn't saved, honestly, I probably would have broke every bone in your body. If I wasn't saved, honestly, I probably would have broke every bone in your body. Straight up.
When Russ said he break every bone in Brandon's body, I think I seen like a vein pop out of his muscle. I was like, oh yeah, it's possible. It's possible. No, I feel like, when you talk about my wife, man, it's all gloves off. Sometimes it's all about what you say, how you say it.
As men, and I'm just going, hopefully y'all okay with me talking.
Yeah,
right
talk.
now.
Go ahead.
But as men, it's our job to set the example for our wives. I think yesterday you took a step back, and then you disrespected my wife. So I'm gonna just be honest, man. I can't trust you.
This got to be a teachable moment.
I can't trust you right now, and it's gonna take some time for us to build that back. But right now, I can't. I don't want you around me. I don't want you around my wife. I don't want your wife around my wife. She tried to throw my wife under the bus like she was nobody. And y'all older than us.
Russell just threatened to break every bone in my body. So I'm just gonna sit here and nod and agree with everything that he's saying because I'm not trying to add any more flame to the fire.
My wife.
And I'm not trying to get any bones broken today. I mean, I get it, Brandon. I mean, Russell is put together pretty well. The brothers live in the gym. All right. I mean, not for nothing, it's probably possible that he could break every bone in his body. But again, I feel for Brandon because the guy finds himself oftentimes in no-win situations, man. He's a bull in a china shop, for real. For real, he's a bull in the china shop. Everything is always getting broken. And there's no way to finesse your way in a china shop if you're a bull. There's just no way. Okay, you can't tiptoe around nothing. Something is going to get broken, and you're always collateral damage. I don't care if it's with his wife. Now it's with Kobe and with Russell, and Anthony seemed to be a bit of a instigator. The guy, if I was Brandon, I would pack bags and move. Okay, Detroit ain't the place for me. I can't do any right in this situation, in this town, whatever the case may be. I'm not saying he should do that, but I'm just saying that this just ain't his vibe right now. This just is not his vibe. To have everybody always his enemy. If it's not his wife, it's his boys and their wives. It's like, if I'm Brandon, I'm like, he don't even know what he's doing in this man movement. Like, he didn't even get the memo on what he's supposed to do in the man movement. So it's like, if I'm Brandon, I'm like, what the hell is going on with everything, with everybody? Is it just me? Why is it that I'm always the one who is the problem with everybody? What am I doing to cause all of this drama? Some might say he's part of the problem. He is part of the problem, especially with his wife and how he moves. He's part of the problem with these guys too, on a certain type of level. But it's almost as if he don't have a right to feel the way he feel. Okay? With his wife, he has a right to feel the way he feel. He's not popping in the city no more. He feel like he being held back. Then she complains that he don't defend her enough. He try to defend her. Now he had beef with his boys. It's like, what the hell? What the hell? Right now I'm rocking with Brandon, actually, because I'm like, this guy is not a bad guy. This guy is not a bad guy at all. But if you ask everybody, he can do no right. If you ask everybody, he can do no right. In order to please one, his wife, he has to disrupt and you know, could he have done it a different way? It's possible, but the guy has no clue on social cues or how to move. He and I don't know if that's upbringing. I don't know if that's really his fault. I don't know if just how he was raised. But he has no clue on social cues. I would agree. You don't talk about somebody's wife, okay? You know, somebody insulted my wife, I would have broke every bone in their body too, okay? You don't, you know, even in his marriage, you don't sit up here and lie to your wife for no reason. You don't. So he's missing some social cues, but I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's very misunderstood by everybody. And if I'm Brandon, I'm like, you know, maybe I need to see a therapist or something, because I don't know what I'm doing wrong or what's going on. Is it me or is it everybody else? You know. Anyway, let's go back in.
His name is not to come out your mouth. If you want to say something to her, come to me first.
No, I totally respect it, and I totally deserve everything that, you know what I'm saying, all the consequences. Like, it was uncalled for. I spit some venom, bro, and I totally regret it. I am truly sorry about what went down, because I do feel like it caused genuine hurt. That's the last thing that I want to do, is hurt people. And if I would have known that it would did this much hurt, I wouldn't have said it. But yeah, I still meant it, you know? Whatever distance you need from me and my family, and if, you know, I'm totally okay with it, bro.
I respect that, bro, that you actually, you know, like a man, just apologized and took accountability.
I'll tell you this, man, my wife, you know, I'm getting ready to throw her a party. And initially I wanted y'all there, but I'm not gonna have y'all there. I'm telling you this now so you don't hear from nobody else. I'm not gonna have y'all there.
I think it's funny that Russell just uninvited Brandon and Christine to the birthday party. You know, but what Russell did was he saw what happened at the anniversary. He saw what happened at Dr. Thompson's Opulence wine event. And he's like, oh no, y'all not doing this at my wife's birthday party. This the 30th? Oh, y'all ain't doing that. So that's where he was at.
But we're gonna work on this. And it's gonna take some time, but I appreciate you being the man and having this conversation, because it could have went way different.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. It's a nice way to end the day on the anniversary of my pops passing away.
Is it 2 years now?
Yep, 2 years.
Aw, I miss the old guy.
Yep.
How you feeling?
I mean, you know, I definitely miss him. It's just not the same, you know?
Yeah.
It was tough for Brandon growing up because his parents got a divorce when he was young, 13 years old. And, you know, it affected him in his relationships with his parents. He didn't have the best relationship with his dad. And to this day, he still doesn't have the best relationship with his mom. But I'm just really hoping that they can figure this out together, because it's really affecting how Brandon communicates with me as his wife, and then our family dynamic as a whole. How you?
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't have the best relationship with his dad, and he don't with his mother, he having problems with his wife, he having problems with his boys, it's probably time to look in the mirror and say, what am I doing wrong as a man, as a person? I shouldn't have beef with the whole world and everybody I care for. I should not have beef with everybody I care for. And I think that if I had to pick a thing that Brandon is doing wrong, is he's not being real with himself and others. He seems to be, he sucks at social cues. He sucks at reading people. He needs to understand the psychology of society, of people, of women, of everybody. And he needs to not lie. I think sometimes he lies unnecessarily. I think sometimes he can be a little misleading. He's, so if he have issues with everybody, I think at some point he does have to look in the mirror and get some help for that, but at his age, I don't know how you can fix social cues. Like, that's something that is natural, unless he gets some kind of relationship coach or something. That's the only thing that I can see. Like, I don't even think a psychologist can work you out of that. You need a relationship coach, somebody who's willing to coach you, because you're not picking up on cues, bro. You're just not picking up on cues. Not with your wife, not with your parents, probably not with your boys. You're not picking up on social cues, and it's getting you in so much trouble. It's ridiculous. I don't think he's a bad guy at all. I think Brandon is actually pretty cool, but he got to start looking in the mirror. Let's go in.
They feel, I don't know. You never really expressed a lot of emotion around it. I never could really gauge how you know what I'm saying, we're feeling.
Yeah, I mean, it was just I just hated the way it all went down.
Yeah.
But let me just update you on everything. Anthony invited me to a meeting with a bunch of movers and shakers.
Okay.
Yeah, Russ was there, Ant was there, Bravo was there, and then a few other dudes. And this was literally right after the skating incident. Mm-hmm. So, everybody's introducing themselves, but the whole time I'm not really focused, because I happened to sit right across from Russell.
Okay.
And I just seen this look in his eyes like he was not okay. And so,
From the skating ordeal?
Yeah, from the Kobe Cat ordeal. He was like, we go talk.
For someone that tries to stay as far away from drama as possible, I feel like Russell is being extremely dramatic.
But he talked for like 5 minutes. And after he talked, was very apologetic. But at the same time, Russell basically told me that if he wasn't saved, he would break every bone in my body. I wanted to say a lot in that moment, but he was a raging big bull. Big. And I'm sitting here with a red cape. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
So I had the reminder of what just happened all on my pecs.
He wanted to punch. I guess he might have wanted to punch that shirt.
He probably thought that was a shot. Just me, wearing your beautiful face on my breastplate here.
I really don't understand Russell's angle. It's not that serious, and I feel like that was a bit over the top. Maybe he was reacting that way because of the way Kobe was reacting, but that was a bit much.
I would actually agree that was a bit much for Russell, but he can't cower either, especially when he got his boy, Anthony, you know, being an instigator. I think this would have been handled a lot better if Anthony would have shut up. Again, I rock heavy with Anthony. I agree with a lot of the stuff the dude do, even the man's movement. I'm all for it. I'd be at the meeting. But let these dudes handle it and stop instigating and let them, you know, I don't like, because I even think I heard Russell say, you know, I wasn't even thinking about that. But yeah, you're right, Anthony. That was a problem, this, that, and the third. So I think it was a bit much because Anthony amplified it to a level that got it that far. And it was a bit much. So I agree with Christina on that. I think the whole thing could have blown over if they would have just left it alone. But let's go in.
He told me don't ever say his wife's name. He said if you wouldn't need to talk to her, go through him. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Then he was just like, y'all are not invited to her 30th birthday.
Russell may have uninvited me, but I wasn't gonna go anyway. I was good, and I'm good. Uninvite me, honey. I'm straight.
It makes sense.
Does it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big blow up.
Wait, Christina didn't have a big blow up. Kobe just started going off. And then the other thing was, she was just like, you're selfish. And I'm like, how am I selfish? She said, because why wouldn't you let me jump on the collaboration with you? And I'm like, that's not how you do business. I don't know if I should have a different type of feeling or if it should bother me more, but I'm good not going to her party.
Christina and her accountability is at an all-time low. And unfortunately, a lot of women move this way. Just accountability is such a problem for a lot of women. I'm not saying that she's a villain in this whole thing, but can we take some accountability? Can we? I mean, it's just, I'm even tired of saying it. This is, me and Brandon have the same reaction right now. Look at his reaction. That's mine. It's just, it's a lot. Let's go in.
This is my question to you. Are we still going to be friends with the Harrises?
I don't know.
Coming up, the main thing was about us coming back together. Cause I ain't gonna lie, dog, like the stuff that happened between you and Russell, man, I started looking at you a little different, bro. I started looking like, can I trust you now? Things that I'm seeing is disloyalty. The way that you're treating your friend.
And here we go with Anthony instigating again and coming into it. Dude, stay out of it. Stay out of it. You are actually the one blowing this whole thing up and making it extra. It don't need to be extra. And now you're testing him and all of that. Why all of a sudden you got all this distrust for Brandon? Why? Because he tried to back his wife? Like, this is freaking ridiculous. You know, I'm very like, I don't know if I can trust you now. See, here's the thing. Anthony don't ever want to be in that situation. So he's doing the most right now. You know, he don't ever want to be in a situation where he have to defend his wife. So he's letting everybody know how he feel about the moment. I get it. But you're being a major instigator in this whole thing, dog. Calm down. Sometimes it is best to shut the hell up and let your boys handle it amongst themselves. Unless it get physical, then you can step in there and break it up. But this is one thing I disagree with Anthony on. Probably the only thing I've ever disagreed with him on so far. Let's go in.
Just call my mama today. I ain't talked to her in months, but everything's okay. Couple laughs, couple jokes, talking about the kids. I ain't seen a boy in months, so you know what it is.
Brandon and Christina, they marital issues keep spilling all through the city. But you know what? The showcase, it must go on. And we have a short amount of time to get everything done. Brandon. Now this the Brandon I know. This is what we do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
All that other stuff, this is where we belong.
Yeah, man.
Working.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Chilling, man.
You look a lot better, dog.
I mean, you know, I just been working out, man, because I might have a wrestling match on my hands.
Bro, I gotta get y'all back. Like this, I just can't even believe it went to that level. Cause that man's movement meeting, bro. I'm like,
I could see him seeing red because when he greeted me, he was like, "We go talk."
oh yeah,
And I was
he
just like,
on that.
I was like, all right, yeah, we are gonna talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then, you know, he hit me with the threat.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, I know, I was wrong. I should not have called your wife that name, you know what I'm saying? But does that measure up to you wanting to break every bone in my body?
Right. I think he felt disrespected.
Bravo. I'm super excited to move past all this drama just so I can focus on what matters to me. And that's this showcase. That's the talent in Detroit. It's time to move on to the showcase so that I can be back in my element. But now let's get down to the nitty gritty, man, with this showcase. So,
I mean, we already done put everything together. You know, me and Bravo about that business. We kept it moving forward. Like, we already got everything done. From the sponsorship, Bravo provided the venue. We already got the labels coming. We're gonna do like a promo run with the radio.
Okay.
So really just put the artists in place. We'll talk with Mix and all that and just see what artists.
DJ Mix?
Yeah.
Yes. Y'all are having meetings about this showcase, making plans about this showcase without me, and that ain't cool.
So I figured what I did was I was like, look, man, we said we was in motion with this, right? I know y'all had y'all time with it, so I was like, look, these dudes ain't talking, but we not about to just stop here. We need to do it.
So yeah, like as far as, it'd probably be best if I do all the artists because I can have some kind of agreement in place, you know what I'm saying? If we want to do something like that, I provide all the talent.
We definitely gotta get Mix on the phone on that one because that's something that I think is important to him too on what artist is on the bill. That's super important to him because of reputations too for everybody.
Okay, so everybody rolls. So my role is to provide the talent, you providing the venue.
The technicals.
So you doing marketing.
I'm gonna help with the marketing, also help with everything that's needed.
When I'm angry, it feels kind of like swagger Jackie. Just say you wanted to do this showcase without me. Say you wanted to prove to your wife that you are the man out here and you can do big things out here because it's not making sense. It's not adding up. The math ain't mathing. So how we gonna do the split?
I wasn't looking for this as no moneymaker. The main thing was about us coming back together. Cause I ain't gonna lie, dog, like the stuff that happened between you and Russell, man, just on real talk, I started looking at you a little different, bro. I started looking like, can I trust you now? Things that I'm seeing is disloyalty. The way that you're treating your friend, the way that you're treating your friend's wife. It seems like everywhere Brandon and Christina go is drama. If we at their anniversary,
I don't want to right now.
Let's take a walk.
we go to my wife's event.
Everything is my fault. Ever since I married him, everything is my fault.
We at the roller skating rink and we just skating, having fun, but more drama.
If she has a conversation with you and then the next day, like, you're on the same thing, that's looking like a Kobe cat.
So it's hard for me to wholeheartedly trust you with all things and you pull these type of moves. My thing is, bro, I just want us to keep building. I want to see your family win. So let's just do this showcase and really put on for the city, man, and do it the right way so that this brotherhood can be back the way it need to be. Detroit, we love our people, love our city, but one thing about it, when you step up to the plate, you gotta be ready. So we don't have time to play right now. We gotta make this happen. Well, I gotta go pick these kids up, bro. So I'm gonna get up with you.
All right, dog.
All love. Let me tell the world this. We moving forward with the showcase, with or without Brandon. We not worried about it. We gotta get it done.
So y'all good, right?
Again, Anthony, don't really appreciate how you're treating your boy. You're taking sides. You should stay out of this. Look, I get it, man. They bring drama everywhere they go, and it's getting a little heavy. And I would probably even say that his wife is kind of giving him these feelings towards the Smiths or Brandon and Christina. So the wives seem to be stirring the pots, and the men are just really, sitting ducks in the stew, so to speak. And they're moving however the women is stirring the pot. They're moving in that direction. And the men just don't, I don't want to say they don't have an original emotion of their own. But it's just off-putting that, that's your boy. That's your boy. Okay, so he said she was being a Kobe cat. I get it. That is disrespectful. But is it okay? So you're gonna do the showcase? You're not gonna you're not gonna tell him anything about the showcase now? You're not going to let him know what he's doing at the whole man's movement meeting? You're moving in the way of exclusion while trying to include him, and he's supposed to be okay with that, all because of I get it. They're a dramatic couple. They're dramatic people, and you're tired of the drama. I get it, but that's your boy for 20 years, man. 20 years. All right. You should know him enough to give him a benefit of the doubt. Don't act brand new with Brandon now, almost as if all he can do is bring the talent and the music, but you don't really want to be dealing with him all of a sudden just because of what he said to somebody else's wife. It wasn't even your wife. So it's like, I understand why Brandon is feeling the way. Let's go in.
I'm out the loop a little bit since the table conversation.
Honestly, like, this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do this. And I know Anthony says he does it.
Yeah.
I just never seen it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all was talking about it, and I'm like, dang, y'all like having a whole convo without me. Like, this really is like, this is my thing first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna lie. My first thought was like, all right, man, well, look, are they talking? Are they not talking?
I mean, he kind of said, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to trust you. And I'm just looking at you like, why? I'm looking at him like,
right.
And I should have asked that question. I didn't ask that question. I might ask him next time we're around.
But I did nothing to him or his wife.
Yeah.
Right, so for him to feel like I don't rock with him, that's off of a third party situation.
That's a good
and that's his
conversation
prerogative. If you don't rock with me, don't rock with me.
I actually totally agree with Brandon on that. I was actually kind of saying that. I swear I haven't seen this before. But you gonna move the way you moving off a third party situation. It wasn't even you and your wife, man. And all of a sudden you can't trust me and this, that, and the third. We 20 years deep. We knew each other longer than we knew all these chicks. Yeah, they are wives, but we boys for 2 decades, bruh. All of a sudden you brand new? Like, come on, man. Off of one situation, it's a third party situation. It wasn't even you directly. Okay? Again, I rock with a lot that Anthony do, but that's the one thing I think he's wrong on. I'm totally team Brandon in this situation. Let's go in.
It's looking good, y'all. Looking good. I've been putting this 30th bash for Kobe for months. It's impossible to surprise Kobe. So, like, she knows that something's going on. She just doesn't know what it is. She doesn't know exactly who's going to be there. She doesn't know any of that. So this is almost a surprise. What did Lauren say in terms of?
You know that she gonna try to circle the block.
Take a circle.
Circle. Seriously.
What up, sis? How you doing?
How are you?
Thank you for coming.
Wow, this is beautiful.
Like she's coming up in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Russell thinks he's so slick. He thinks that I know nothing that's going on, but I sent my vision board. I'm expecting for him to deliver. He asked me to wear boho pastel, but I cannot match the room. I have to allow the room to match me. Do you know where we're going? Have you been here? No, but I know what it looks like.
Hey, y'all. So when she get up here, although she's seen some of y'all come in, we still gonna say surprise.
Thank you.
Listen, when Kobe walks into this party, she better cry. Like, if I don't see a tear, we're gonna have to fight.
Surprises. I do not want to be surprised. It does not do it for me. I don't like that. But I am excited for this intimate 30th bash. I'm excited to have fun. Thank you, husband.
They hooked it up for us.
Thank you, Nate. You're welcome.
She took the vision board and turned it into a reality.
I see. Oh my God. It is so beautiful. It's boho. It's intimate. All of my favorite people are here.
I just want to thank everybody for coming. Let's celebrate. Let's turn up. Let's go.
It's a beautiful feeling to be surrounded by my friends and family who I love so dearly. And I'm just praying that there is no drama here today because this is a drama-free zone.
1, 2, beautiful.
Thank you.
This is good. This is beautiful. I'm like, Russell, you gonna have us on the floor again? Like, I can't. I know y'all can't sit.
From the Lavender Farm.
Yeah.
How you doing? Doing pretty good. I don't know. I'm just like still trying to like catch my breath on everything that happened last week. I don't know. I'm in a place of like true confusion. Like I don't know exactly how everything transpired. And for me, I feel like I was out of my character. Like that's not who I am to just storm out and walk away. Right. But when I get so frustrated, because I feel like she has a spirit of manipulation, and she kept saying, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what's going on. But like, no, sis, you know exactly what's going on. You're trying to manipulate the case right now. Right. And it's not cute.
Yeah.
And not to mention, you are 40 years old.
Right. I can see where Kobe felt like, she doesn't have the support of her friend and wanting to work together. I really don't like people not to be sisterly to one another. And, the fact that she seems so hurt. And so I did felt the need to be at least responsive to her since nobody else was doing it besides her husband.
And we haven't talked to them. And so
I've called you?
I've been asking Russell, like, are they coming? Like, what's going on?
Christina hasn't called to say anything to you?
Hasn't called to say a word?
Nope. Honestly, I didn't invite them today. I didn't want any nonsense.
I know Anthony is meeting up with Brandon and Christina right now. I didn't want to go.
To the meeting with Brandon and Christina?
Nah, I just don't feel like it was necessary. I said what I had to say in that moment. It wasn't much. What I said was, this is fake.
Yeah.
Point blank, period.
Yeah.
And I'm starving, and I want something other than French fries.
We wanted to meet with Anthony today because, number one, I feel like he's tried to cut me out of the showcase, and I have to let him know that that is not going down by any means. And he told me he couldn't trust me. That needs to be addressed.
We're being pinned as the bad guys. We bring the drama or whatever they've been talking about, and it's just not true. It's time we set the record straight and get to the bottom of this.
So I know the last time we was all together, it was,
ironically, This is kind of weird, but all this drama with everybody else seemed to brought them closer. They ride or die with each other right now. Peace and harmony in their household. Now they just got a problem with everybody else. Transfer of energy, y'all. Transfer of energy. Get that negative energy out of our house. But if we got to spread it to everybody else so that we can have tranquility under our roof, then we got to, it's us against the world. We got to beef with everybody else. But long as our household and our roof is on square dealings, that's more comfortable. I'd rather deal with that than to have it under our roof. It seemed like that's what they ended up doing. Now, him having his wife's back at the skating rink actually helped their relationship. Now she sees her man taking up for her. Now they got beef with everybody else, and they're going to address that with Anthony. But you see that transfer of energy? I haven't seen them happier. this whole series, I haven't seen them this at peace with each other in the whole series so far. Let's go in.
Nice fiasco.
Man, we all started off like family, like everybody. And y'all had great relationships, especially with the Harris family, you know? Mm-hmm. And I just want to see us, the fellas especially, like, connect again. Because it's like everybody is good people, you know?
I mean, you know, you really painted me out to be the bad guy in these situations, and
You said,
it's just
hold on.
real life.
You said I painted you out to be the
You
bad
painted
guy.
me out to be the bad guy. You calling me out on certain things, like, you know
But you're going back to the blame game when we talked about accountability, bro.
He did call her Kobe Cat. Like, maybe he shouldn't have said the name. Maybe he shouldn't name call. But she was up there name calling too.
Because I'm not a selfish person who wants it to be about me.
But she called you fake. She called you,
Right.
what did she say?
I was selfish because I asked her a question and I got blew up on. But then I was told by LaToya, I don't do this drama. I
But you
wasn't the
don't
one
know.
being loud, and I wasn't the one yelling, raising my voice, and calling people names. That was straight weird. I don't even know where that came from. Now I'm starting to feel like it's something going on between me and LaToya that I don't know about. I'm so confused.
Well, my wife, for one, she don't have a problem with you or Kobe. She don't.
She shouldn't.
She don't want us to be out in public looking crazy. Period. And
So where is she now?
she said that.
Why didn't you bring your wife with you?
She's at home with the kids.
You guys have been friends longer than I have been friends with you guys. And so the whole copycat situation, it's like, okay, so Brandon, you're saying that. So where are you getting it from?
Where do you get it from? Yeah.
We're all influencers. Influencers work with the same brands all the time. So how am I copying off of you? If you go down my content looks nothing like hers. We are not the same. Do I love and respect her for who she is? Yes, of course, but the trust is broken. We're all influencers. Influencers work with the same brands all the time. So how am I copying off of you? If you go down my content looks nothing like hers. We don't post the same stuff. We don't dress alike. We are not the same. Do I love and respect her for who she is? Yes, of course, but the trust is broken. I can't trust her. For you to call me out at a skating rink like that in public and not pick the phone back up and call me?
Yeah.
No.
And that sounds
I'm supposed to be
disappointing.
your little sister?
That's disappointing.
It doesn't give little sister to me at all.
Christina. The fact is, this is this girl's birthday. That's your friend. And you haven't even reached out to her about her birthday, let alone the situation. Do you really consider her your sister or your friend? Because obviously, maybe you don't feel that way.
Well, and it's funny to me how Anthony and LaToya are taking such sides with Russell and Kobe. There's not even a balance of you say is that her friend, is that your little sis? Look, they were uninvited. They were told they were not welcome. Why would she call? She don't want to ruin, she figures she's doing them a favor by not calling her. I don't want you to be thinking about me or talking about me or whatever the case. If you don't want me at your party so you can have a peaceful party, have a peaceful party. I side with Christina on that. I side with Brandon on that. We were uninvited. That means we're not welcome. Why would she call her? Why are y'all even talking about her? If she wants a peaceful 30th, don't even bring their name up. But, you know, LaToya and Anthony are so on Team Russell and Kobe that it's almost as if they don't understand the situation. Like, look, let me be real. This whole shit is blown out of proportion. This whole roller skating rink and these ladies sharing a collaboration is all blown out of proportion. It is not that serious. But everybody is turning it into some kind of fiasco. I don't know if I can trust you, Anthony, with Brandon. You know, I don't know if I can trust you. You know, then they ask, well, where's your wife? Why didn't she come? Oh, she's watching the kids. Actually, she's at the party with Kobe enjoying her 30th. It's like, I don't know if these are at the same time, but it looks like that's what the wife is doing, is kicking it with. So they split duties between the couples, I guess. But I'm Team Brandon and Christina on this. Look, you didn't want us there. Don't mention our name. Don't expect us to call. Don't do none of that. We were uninvited. That means we were unwelcome. Okay. I wouldn't be pressed about it either. You uninvite me, don't expect no call from me. That's just how I rock. Anyway, let's go in.
All in all, what I think we need to do as soon as possible is I'd like to have a conversation with Brandon. I'd like for you to have a conversation with Christina. And I think we need to bring our couples together and have a conversation.
The most sane thing I've heard in this whole situation. Shout out to Russell. Manning up. Listen, I want to talk to Brandon. You talk to Christina. Let's try to bury this hatchet, okay, before it gets any worse. Because it ain't that serious. Shout out to Russell for that comment. That's a real man right there. Let's go in.
Every time we're together, what did I always say? How do we get past it? How do we get back together? How do we rebuild?
Rebuild
We're not talking.
what?
If a man says something like he said to him, rebuilding is needed. We all have made mistakes in our relationship together.
That's all I want everybody to own it, because everybody has a role in this drama.
I've always talked about when I make a mistake and all that.
You have.
And I'm gonna mess up again. And you gonna mess up again. We gonna mess up. So I'm just gonna say this, like, I want y'all to win. I want y'all to be healthy. I want us to win. I want us to be healthy.
Anthony is saying he wants everyone to get back to a good space. He wants the gang to get back together. You know, all that stuff you talking, bro, you can save it, because at this point, it's just all business. I'm just trying to get a successful showcase, and that's it. So with this showcase, how did it go from me and you to now, like, it's a whole meeting and a half without me knowing about it, and now it's like we got DJ Mix in on it? Like, how did that happen?
Man, me and Mix been had this relationship. We've been doing this.
I'm just saying, this started
I'm about to
off
talk
as
to
a-
you. I'm gonna talk to
me
you
and
about
you
it.
thing.
When the stuff with you and Russell on whatever y'all situation was, how it went, I was like, bro, I said that made me, watching y'all two, made me like with the whole trust thing. I was like, trust and loyalty is a big deal to me.
Because I'm just saying, like,
That,
what does me,
I don't
like,
mess with him no more. That I
what
didn't
does
say
my
that.
beef got to do with, like, a whole meeting's happening behind my back? Like,
Right. Oh, I was doing the show.
You gotta let me know. Like, I don't know if I trust you. I'm moving on without you. What
So
transpired
speak on that to Bravo too.
No, what
Since he talked on
transpired
that.
from you was gonna move forward to now I'm back
But
in
that
it.
still don't got nothing to do with him. And what I'm starting to see here is that you and LaToya like to jump on a bandwagon of stuff y'all
Don't
don't
play
fully
with me
know
no
about.
hand. Don't talk play
Y'all
with no
don't
hand.
feel-
Don't
you
play
just-
with no
what you just
bandwagon
say?
because we straight.
What
We
you
good.
just say?
Like,
You're
it
good
ain't
with
no.
what?
We are
Wait a minute.
solid.
You just told
We
this
are
man.
solid.
You
I
just
said
told
to straight to Brandon's face, like, dog.
What does that have to do with
It has a
you
lot to do
trusting
with
me?
it. I'm not about to be doing business deals with somebody that's snaking somebody else we cool with.
Next on Love and Marriage Detroit. So I want to slide over to the gym. And I want to get in talks with the current owner and see if we can negotiate a deal.
Just make sure you communicate.
Christina was very concerned, like, where's LaToya? She wanted to know, like, why she ain't here? Does she got a problem with me? Because the way she left the situation, she was
Like,
sitting
I
right
just
there.
don't get why they doing that.
I'm like, why are you focused on her?
Anthony hits me in the thread like, you got 3 slots.
I'm not understanding how he's dictating to you what's going on in your showcase.
I'm not either.
Make it make sense.
To me, you the little dog.
Man, please. You wish you could do what I do. That's what the problem
Nobody
is.
knows what you do.
Pull up. Star Factory has not created 1 star. Not 1.
Christina can't get a word out. Christina can't say how I feel. Christina can't be honest.
You're
One circle of
manipulative,
friends.
you're conniving, you're all of the above,
Kobe.
and I'm not.
You know, I'm starting to see that this this talk things out thing ain't going too well. So I can't wait to see what the next episode shows, because even though it was a good idea in theory, there's no they need a referee or something. There's no listen. You know, I always say who I'm rocking with when I feel like they're in the right. For the longest time, I mean, at least for the first couple of episodes, I thought that Brandon was moving questionable with his wife. I also thought that Christina was allergic to accountability. Okay, just allergic. And I thought Anthony was doing some great things. He was a great leader, great husband, things like that. And so was LaToya. Now in episode 5, I'm a bit, the tables have kind of turned. So now I'm seeing where Christina had every right to feel like her coattails is being dragged on a little bit, and where Brandon is trying to defend his wife and trying to right his ship in his marriage, but it had to come at the expense of everybody else. The guy is always in the no-win situation. And I agree with Brandon. Like, what my issue with the third party got to do with you, Anthony? So now I'm rocking with Brandon and Christina, and Anthony is looking a little questionable, because the same thing you accused Brandon of, which is disloyalty or trust, is almost as if Brandon can't trust you. He can't trust you to do this showcase in a way that y'all agreed to. Now all of a sudden you moving a little snaky. You know, I rocked with a lot that Anthony do, but how he handling this situation between his 2 friends is he out of pocket. He just out of pocket. It ain't even none of his business. He just happened to be there. Yeah, I know he happened to be there. He invited everybody, but you stay out of it, bruh. And then what that got to do, and why is your trust? You know me 20 freaking years. 20 years. And now all of a sudden you don't know if you can trust me? Cut the BS, bruh. This is my showcase. I'm bringing the talent. Now all of a sudden you dictating how this is going to go, how the artist is going to be, and this, that, and the third. You having meetings without me? I don't know. Interesting show. Again, I still feel a lot more drawn into Detroit than I do Huntsville, but I just think that the tables seemed to have turned for me, and it could turn back, in the next episode or two. Who knows? But for right now, I'm rocking with Brandon and Christina. However, I feel Christina is going to forever have problems if she don't learn how to take accountability for something. Like, girl, you're not perfect. Okay? You do some stuff that's wrong, and you do exaggerate your point of view a lot to try to make yourself look good. You need to start taking accountability, sis, for real. Kobe is not all the way wrong in how she feels, but you're starting to come off a little insensitive too. So if that's your little sis, pull her in, bring her under your wing. Say, listen, I had this collaboration that I was going to do. I'm going to do this one by myself, but maybe we could do something else together in a collaboration. But this is not the one. Okay. I understand you want to do a collaboration, and we're going to do that, but not in this situation. Okay. And since she didn't say that, she's coming off insensitive. So everybody has a right to feel the way that they feel, but I call out the BS and I call out the people who are right at that particular moment. I think Brandon in the no-win situation. I think Christina is halfway right. I think she's right to not want her coattails dragged, but I think she's insensitive at the same time. I think Kobe has a right to feel how she feels, but I think she do need to realize that she needs to give Christina a little space to breathe a little bit. I think Russell is right to defend his wife, and I think he's right to try to hash things out. So I kind of understand everything that Russell is doing right now. So I probably am rocking the heaviest with Russell at this point, because I will probably move a lot like Russell is. Anthony, I thought that brother is dynamic. He's a dope brother, but I think in this situation, he's absolutely wrong. I don't like how he's treating Brandon. This is supposed to be your boy 20 years in, 20 grand, and you just all of a sudden don't trust him, and you're instigating with Russell. You don't even greet your boy no more. You're having meetings without him. You're just being a little feminine in how you moving. I'm gonna just be real, especially in this situation. He's moving a little feminine, and that's just my opinion. I still think the dude is dope, but I don't like how he handled this situation with Brandon. And Latoya, I think she's right to feel the way she feels too. She's a drama-free chick, and I rock with that. She did take a side. She seemed to take the Kobe side and pretty much called Christina fake, and I can understand that. But I don't think she should have taken a side either. I think she should have stayed a little neutral, and just like I think Anthony should have stayed neutral. And that's what I think of everybody so far. So let me know what y'all think. What do y'all disagree with me? Y'all think y'all got a different opinion about it? I'd love to hear about it. Put it in the comments. Hit the like, share, and subscribe for real. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.